everybody. So, I think I found a reason that most people are not successful. The reason why most of the people are not successful is because they don't have consistency in their life. They're not, they, most of the case, they intentionally avoid to be consistent. I think the reason why people avoid to be consistent is because consistency makes people looking bored. If if someone do the same thing over and over and then don't change anything over time, they just look dumb and they just look bored. And especially when you are young, it is a high value that you change as you age and you apply some new features, new habits, new ability in your life and show it to the people, and then they admire you, admit you that you are growing. That is the value most young people have, and that will establish a pretty delusional perspective toward the whole life. And that kind of change, chasing the trend and adapting yourself to society to get a reputation, to gather more attention, that will make you far away from who you really are, and make you far away from the key to the success, which is consistency. And because, why I'm saying consistency is the key to the success, let me tell you why I think consistency is the key to the success. It is easy to spot consistency when you look at every successful people. I believe there is no exception. Look up anyone who is successful in their life. Look up to someone who you respect, who you admire. They have a consistency. They're doing the same thing over and over again over the decades of time. That make them successful. And to be consistent really requires people to be disciplined, because without a discipline, it is hard to be consistent. And consistency requires discipline, because you need to do the same thing over and over again, and that is a discipline. Without a discipline, you're not going to do the same thing over and over again. You are unable to do that, and that would make you unsuccessful. and including me right here. I've changed a lot of focus over the period of my decade of career. That's why I'm standing right here and doing a different thing compared to the past decade. But I just committed to this form of life for my rest of my life. So I am here to be disciplined and to be trying to be consistent for future decades. So let's see how it turned out. But what I want to say is right here is being disciplined to be consistent is the key to the success. If you want to be successful, you got to do the same thing over and over again. The reason why people don't become successful most of the time is because being consistent is very, very bored. And it is looking boring. When you are a boring person, people manage you, people sabotage you, people may say you are very boring, and it's not a happy thing to have it. So most of the case, people adapt themselves to become someone whom people want you to be, and that's not who you are. That's not who they are. But they become someone who they are really not. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. But what I want to say here is be consistent, and by being disciplined, and that would make you successful. And that's the reason I think why people are not going to be successful. So you got my message, right? And it's your choice if you apply to your life or not. But study the word. The answer is right there, right in front of you. Answers everywhere. So thank you for listening. I love you guys, and I see you in the next episode. Peace.